Hello, everybody. It's Rich M Media, the one and only. Just wanted to have that backdrop to remind us who is the 2022 NFC East Division champs right there. I do have a lot of things that I want to talk about actually pertaining to going into the season. I did want to wait until we got through all the preseason games to put down a 53-man roster prediction. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Next thing I'm going to do is just talk about some goofy people that we see on these networks, like I've talked about in some of my previous videos. But it's getting really out of hand with what some of these people are saying. And on shows like Get Up, and shout out to Shady McCoy, the real one. Eagles till the day he dies. You know what I mean? He's always there to defend our Eagles. And to combat the naysayers and the people who try to disrespect our franchise and our quarterback. The first thing that I will hit is the quarterbacks. Okay, I'm gonna do a really quick 53-man roster prediction and my thoughts on a possible Jonathan Taylor trade there. That the media is saying we have our eyes on him. Let's get into it.
Die line with the new style. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in a new style.
Okay. Let's get into it. First thing first, 53-man roster prediction. Let's start with the quarterbacks. We got Jalen Hurts, Marcus Mariota, and of course Tanner McKee we are keeping. Tanner has played really well during the preseason. He's really impressed me. I think he's done a lot better than Marcus Mariota. Of course, the Eagles are going to keep Marcus Mariota because he's an investment. He has the same or a similar style of play as Jalen Hurts has. And so I think that's a plus. He does have to work on his accuracy and some of the other things that we see. Now, running backs is going to be a peculiar position that I do want to talk about. Seeing as, there's a lot of talks about us making a possible trade. Right now, as I have it on the roster, there's the original 53-man roster that I written up before, the trade accusation started. Was Kenneth Gainwell, DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, and Boston Scott as a four-man rotation. But as developments are coming out, I've kind of changed my opinion here. I do think that Eagles are a team. I think Howie's a wheeler and dealer. I don't think he's necessarily going to go for the first-round pick that the Colts are asking for. I think that would be pretty foolish, and I think Howie's smarter than that. I think he would be open to trading Rashad Penny. I think he would be open to Rashad, maybe even DeAndre Swift, but I really think he would be more so open to trading Rashad Penny just because DeAndre Swift is a very new acquisition and he shows a lot of promise. Rashad Penny in 5th or 6th round pick. For Jonathan Taylor, I think if the Colts would say yes to that, I think Howie's going with it. I think we pull the trigger, and I think in this particular scenario, Kenneth Gainwell, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Boston Scott, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and that's okay too. I think we're good with the running backs that we do have. Like I said, this is my scenario. This is my possibility for what could happen. If that's if and only if they go for that particular trade. Now I'm gonna keep moving on right now to the wide receivers. Okay, so wide receivers are AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Amalede Zacchaeus, and Britton Covey. I do think that Devin Allen has made a case. I think that's either I think it's 50-50 between Allen and Covey. I do think that they are both very great players and possess very great abilities and skills. I could see another one being on the practice squad if no one picks them up. from the waiver wire, but I do believe that Zacchaeus, I know over here shows Quez over him, but I do think Zacchaeus deserves the third wide receiver spot over Quez. Quez wasn't in any of the preseason games. He was hurt all all pretty much a large portion towards the end of the training camp. He was hurt, so we didn't even get to see him on the field during preseason, which for me is just like, it's kind of like been there, done that. Like we seen, like in these big moments, we need you. We want to see what you're made of. We want to see that dog in you. And Quez is like, unfortunately, it's sad to say, but unfortunately, he's nowhere to be found. All right, we're gonna move on to the tight ends. Dallas Goedert, Jack Stahl, Grant Calcaterra. That's just a given. I agree with that tight end lineup right there. It's not really much to say. Dallas Goedert is one of the best tight ends in the league, top 5 type tight end. Really, you could argue top 3, honestly. Just a great tight end. He improved his blocking last year compared to the year before. So I just think that Dallas Goedert is going to continue to build off of the good habits and the good things that we've seen from him. Okay, now I'm just backing up now, so the theme will come back. But sorry about that. I've been having a little technical difficulties with the background. I hope no one minds. But we're gonna keep moving on to offensive line group right here. All right, so offensive linemen include. Sorry, I gotta get my stuff. All right, so offensive linemen include Jordan Mailata, obviously. We already know Jason Kelsey. Come on now. Come on. We already know Lane. Landon, Cam Jurgens. We got Jack Driscoll, Tyler Steen, Josh Stills, Sewell Petta in there, backing up the offensive lineman. That's a total of 9 total offensive linemen right there that we're going to keep on that. That we're going to keep on there. I do want to get into actually some of the edge defenders as well. That's one thing I do want to touch on. I'm just trying to get all my information together. So as far as edge defenders go, we're talking Hassan Reddick. Yes, he is hurt right now. He did have a surgery and on his thumb, I believe, or his, I think it was his thumb. He'll be back in time for week 1. He's the first one on the edge defenders. Of course, we got Josh Sweat. We got Brandon Graham. You know what I'm saying? I got to put my mic down to do this, but we got Brandon Graham. You know what I'm saying? Met him in person, by the way. He was an awesome dude. Nolan Smith, obviously, new draft pick from Georgia. Big draft pick from Georgia. Derek Barnett. I know a lot of people not going to like that. I'm including him in the 53-man roster. Some people got a lot against Derek Barnett. He was injured last season. A lot of people are sick of the stupid penalties, the antics, the fighting. But listen, we need that aggression on this team. We need that. We need somebody who's going to do some of the dirty work, and that is definitely Derek Barnett. I think he deserves a chance, especially since I think he either caused or recovered the strip sack from Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. When I think about Derek Barnett, I don't think about necessarily what all the things that people think about negatively. I do remember those moments where he really did help us out in that Super Bowl. So I give him a little bit more grace than maybe the typical Eagles fan would. I like how he fights for the team. I like how he fights other people. I'm gonna keep it a bean. It's not many players that are willing to get dirty like that. And teams, especially like teams like the 49ers and teams that we kind of dogged last year during the playoffs, Giants, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these teams I can see trying to be dirty with us and play dirty against us this coming season. So we need someone in there who's going to give it back to them. And Patrick Johnson as well. We're including behind Barnett. Let's get into this a little bit here. This is the thing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take Patrick Johnson off. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to say that. So, As far as the edge defenders, I'm just gonna have Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Nolan Smith, and Derek Barnett. And here's why I'm taking Patrick. No shots at Patrick Johnson. He's a great player, but just that linebacker depth. I believe with linebackers we're gonna have Nakobe Dean, Christian Ellis, Zach Cunningham, but I also do believe that we're gonna keep Nicholas Morrow for depth purposes. Sorry, excuse my language. For depth in the linebacker, it's not much depth in there. If not Morrow, I can see us picking up a free agent as well. I'm not saying it's written in stone because these players are competing against all the other players in the league that are getting picked up during they're getting picked up from the waiver wires and whatnot, and so our players are competing against all the players in the league, especially in this linebacker position. I know how he's a wheeler and dealer. He's going to pick somebody up. He's going to make sure that position is set. Okay, let's move on to the interior defensive line. Sorry, I didn't even mean to skip that one, but we'll go over that. That's cool. Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, and Marlon Teopolotu is my prediction for the interior defensive line. I mean, that's straight cut. Good players, good rotational depth pieces on there. And yeah, it's clear cut. Now, I do want to move on here to safeties. So, safeties, I actually think that we have Reed Blankenship, Terrell Edmonds, Sidney Brown. We do have Justin Evans and Wallace. We're gonna keep 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 safeties. This could be give or take. Now, this Patrick Johnson could actually stay on the team, and I can see them getting rid of Wallace in one scenario. But for right now, we're gonna say they keep 5 safeties. Okay, we're gonna say they keep Wallace right now, and that's just because of the special teams aspect that Wallace and his speed that he offers in special teams. So, special teams saves Wallace in my book. Okay, I'm okay with that. Now we're gonna go to cornerbacks. Let's do this thing. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, Josh Jobe, Keely Ringo, Mario Goodrich, Eli Ricks. Phenomenal players. All these players play really good during the preseason. I was impressed, especially with Eli Ricks. That pick six, man. I think that was against the Browns. I could be wrong. Actually, no, that was, I think, against the Ravens. Either way, I'm impressed with that pick six that he made during preseason. It doesn't really matter because the games don't count. So I don't know why players are dancing in our end zone, flipping the Eagles' wings, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it moving. And oh, by the way, that's seven total corner specialists here. We're gonna have Jake Elliott, kicker, obviously. Rick Lovato is the long snapper. I'm one that thinks that we pick up a punter. Now, whether that be Matt Areza or whoever else, I am one of those ones who believes that Aaron Simpos' time in Philly is probably done. I'm one of those ones who believe, like, the guy did not play well in the Super Bowl. Hasn't really played that impressively in the preseason either. He hasn't done anything to separate himself from what he was last year. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I really hope we can really get a better punter in here just because of, the performances. And I'm looking at all the punters around the league, and they're leaps and bounds ahead of Aaron Simpos, and that's not a good thing. So, that's my 53-man roster prediction. I hope that y'all enjoyed that or took that in, and take it whichever way you want. This is my opinion. As long as we're all fans, we keep it respectful. That's what matters in my book, is that we respect each other's opinion. And I just want to thank all the people out there who watch the channel, all the people in the different Eagles groups who show me love. That doesn't go unnoticed. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is these analysts, or some of these former NFL players who maybe, they fell on their head a couple, too many times, and, maybe someone hit them the wrong way. I don't know. But, it's just wild how disrespectful some of these guys are to Jalen Hurts. And it's just like, I don't necessarily understand why. And that comes with, I'm just going to say, I don't beat around the bush. I'm just going to say that what James Jones said, what James Jones said about Jalen Hurts is disrespectful, saying that it's disrespectful to Justin Fields to compare him to Jalen Hurts. And he was saying Justin Fields' arm talent is better, even though he never threw for more yards per game, or in a season, I don't think, than Jalen Hurts. And definitely, yeah, you can get into arguing about running ability, but he wanted to turn it around and say that, the way that Justin, I don't even know what kind of weird argument he was making. The way that he throws is better than Hurts. Even though Hurts statistically is better than him, that makes no sense. Then how is Justin Fields a better passer if Jalen Hurts is better than him statistically? I don't get it. You want to argue run game? Okay, we can argue run game, but our quarterback is too busy throwing touchdowns and actually being a dual threat than to actually focus on running. So Justin Fields has over 1,000 yards rushing. Okay, that's fine, but Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do that because he throws the ball better than Justin Fields. So he can get he can get 750. He doesn't need a $150 or a buck whatever Justin Fields has running, because and if you want to argue about the weapons that Jalen Hurts has, take that up with the Chicago GM. All right, don't take that up with our team. Don't mention what Justin Fields has in comparison to Jalen Hurts, when Jalen Hurts still threw better without those weapons than Justin Fields did before those weapons came. And I'll take it a step further. The only reason these weapons are in Philly, talking about Devontae Smith, especially talking about A.J. Brown, only reason those weapons are in Philly is because of Jalen Hurts. Do you think A.J. Brown wants to play with Justin Fields? No. A.J. Brown said, I'm in Philly because of Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts leaves Philly, I leave Philly. Look it up. And I'm talking, I don't care if he sees this or not. James Jones, directly to you, your takes are pretty bad, man. Like, as far as, I don't know if, like, Eagles beat you guys real bad one day and you've been bitter about it ever since. I don't know if you got beef with any Eagles players or the fan base or whatever. I really don't care, but, like, at least do takes that actually make sense, not takes that make it look like you have a vendetta against Jalen Hurts, when statistically Jalen Hurts is better at throwing, and the weapons are only in Philly because of Jalen Hurts. I'm going to leave it at that. This is a lot for one video. So I don't, the 53-man roster prediction and confronting all this weird stuff that's going on these networks, and that's okay. I'm gonna leave the video at this because it's already pretty long so far. I hope everyone enjoyed the predictions, and I just hope everyone continues to tune into the channel. Again, this is Rich M Media. If you have any questions, any comments, any observations as to what we should do next moving forward in these videos, please drop it in the comments section, or you can DM. I know my Instagram is attached to the actual YouTube channel, so you can DM any observations that you have or any thoughts that you have. All right, peace.